Great Sanu. I am Comrade Onwahemedike Charles, and I am the chairman of the NHF committee. And I have with me Ngozi as a member of that committee, Obed as a member of that committee, Oko, Samuel, Funke as members of that committee. And the secretary of the committee is Ngozi Matilda. When that committee was constituted, we had a mandate to make sure that members of SANU are duly captured in the NHF program. And part of our mandate was also to make sure that members that were receiving alert, people were receiving alert at some time, the alert stopped. To make sure that those that were receiving alert and the alert stopped, to make sure they start receiving alert again. And to make sure that every of our members are captured in that scheme. Truth be told, we went to work, we did our best, and we recorded some level of successes. Part of the success was that members were duly captured in that platform. A lot received alert. Those that were receiving alert and the alert stopped, they started receiving alert. But along the line, the glitches that is customary with our country. When I interfaced with the NHF office, because at some time members started complaining that they were not receiving alert again. When I interfaced with them, it happened that government was making those deductions from our account, but the government will make the deductions, they will not remit it to their office. And according to them, it is only when the deduction from the government hits their account, that is the only time we will see credit and will receive alert. So the blame, part of the blame went to government because government was, that's the government at the federal level. They making the deductions, but they were not remitting. Then again, within the local level, I also observed that they have their own problem. Sometimes even when the alert come, giving us, when they received the alert rather, then giving us alert was also a problem. But recently, we interacted with them again because members are still complaining that the alerts are not coming. And reliably, they told me that though they've received alerts from the government up to October 2025 of this year. But before that time, there are still alerts that is missing. There are still some of the months that they've not received any alert for. So, and until they do that, they cannot update our records. So, and also recently, I talked with the manager, and they told me that there is a website, maybe possibly before the next meeting, that I will get the site and put it on our SANU platform, that you can access your information by yourself. They've gone to, so that even if you're not receiving alert, if you log in with that website and put, log into that website rather, and put your personal data. Oh my man, yay! Because the rice will go round. SANU has enough. Let's reduce the noise. This is important, please. So like I was telling us, with that site, if you put in your basic data, your name and your number, then you will be able to access your own personal information. That is where we are now. So by the grace of God, before the year runs out, as I get that, I will pass it on to the executive so that we'll put it on the wall for everybody. Thank you very much.
I still remain Comrade Chidozie Michael Ogweze, the chairman of this committee. Thank you so much for your effort.
Thank you.
I recall vividly, Obed, when we had a meeting, when this committee was set up, we were talking about loan. Personally, I've made countless efforts. I'm still on the process of loan. Is there any loan is there any loan available for us to access in NHF? Because if I can give you some information, when I went there with some of my colleagues, they told us that having an account is like an avenue to access a particular loan, that they have three kinds of loan. And the number three loan, called the renovation loan, is centered on the management of SANU. That, I quote them, that our leaders are just playing, that those in the north are assessing, even those from the state government, Abia State, they have been collecting, some have collected twice of that loan, called the renovation loan. So please, what are we doing in Michael University of Agriculture, Mbodeke? Because I want to have my own house. I have to have my own house. Thank you so much.
Great, Sanu. Like you said, there are two loans. There is the renovation loan, which is 1 million naira. There is the house to rent loan, which is anchored on the fact that they have houses that they built. What you need to do is go and pick one house, make your choice, then they will give you a payment plan that they will spread over a period of time. Maybe if it's 20 years, depending on your agreement with them. That one is house to rent, but they have the renovation loan. But you see, the issue and the truth is that at that office, they've not been able to put their acts together. Because personally, I was with the manager of that branch, the woman that was heading that place, as at that time. She said that renovation loan will only be given to us if we are up to date. And as at that time, we were still under IPs. The Buhari government was making the deduction and borrowing the money. They were not remitting it to them. So I had to come back to our payroll here because I need the loan myself. I need the 1 million. And because it's, the interest is almost like nothing. It's nothing. So I had to come to our payroll, met with any day. I was pushing it on them that they are not. He gave me all the info. They did the deduction, but it was the problem of the government that they didn't remit the money to them. So that was what killed that one. Then the house to rent. Presently, I spoke. They said they don't have anyone available. They have one or two in Trademore. Trademore Estate is near Obani. But why I discourage people from that, why I didn't take it up, Trademore has problem of water. Trademore, if you're conversant to that area, Trademore, I did my findings. Trademore has problem of water. You can't drill borehole there. Water is a problem in that estate. So it doesn't make sense that maybe you take a house and maybe to get a borehole, you'll be spending like 10 or 15 million. Make your inquiry. Trademore has a problem. So, but the communication line between us and them is still open. If at any point in time there is any available estate within somewhere that at least if you want to drill your borehole, everything will be easy for you, we'll go for it. In addition, we also had to discuss with them if it will be possible for them to finance, if we get the land, if they can finance it. They said yes, they can finance it, but we need to get C of O. You know how difficult it is to get C of O. So we were looking at if it will be possible to get an expanse of land or somewhere, isolate it to members at a very reasonable amount, then have them come in. Instead of holding our money, they have them come in to build that place for us. But they say we have to get C of O. And I bet you, for those of us that are conversant with how these land things work, to get C of O, it's another thing altogether. It is not that easy. Most of the houses you see, people have lived there 10, 15 years, C of O is a problem. So, except if there will be an appeal to the leadership, if we can dialogue with them, but the leadership has to be involved. If they can waive that C of O aspect and just tell us that if we're able to get land, get power of attorney, because that one is easy, and then if they can come in to build, then we can take that as a better option. Thank you very much. Any? Okay.
I remain my humble sense commonly CCO. Please, Chairman, thank you for well. But I can't say that they have repeated our election to October 2015. Yeah. You have the facts of the source in this.
Yeah, I have the document. They said they released it in 2025. Although that within the year, there are still some modes that they thought that are not released.
Okay. Because I personally went in on this issue. In fact, on the issue of this loan. And I was told that we are not up to date. That our housing fund is not being remitted. And according to the law, that if we are not up to date, even just 1 month, that we are disqualified. So that's why I am asking this question, so that I will know whether to go back again. Then secondly, I want to show certain parts to what I accomplished today. Please, I know that they also told me that C of O, Chairman, are you with me? That C of O is for those who are living within the capital territory. And we have what they call R of O for those who are living in the rural section, which you can obtain from the local governments. So I don't know if we can acquire rural area, because if all of us go there, it becomes a city. If 60% of Sanu Mega, in fact, are to be there, honestly, that place we give 1 month without this. And this is what I believe we can look into. And because in fact, so that I have a child here, and we made tenants for it. So let's look at the rural area and out of the place.
Thank you very much. Omaya and its environment, and they insisted that we must have C of O for such.
So if there's a consensus of opinion that we can look into rural areas, into the villages, then I think we'll take that as an option and go for that. And then on the issue of being up to date, you are right. If you are not up, October 2025, we are not up to date. There's still November. So their law says if you are even within, like I told us, in fact, within the month, the year, there are some months they said they are still not been remitted to them. So everything is about remittance. If we are up to date, we can access that 1 million naira loan. But then we will go back again and re-strategize and see how we can venture to see if we get land in the rural area. Thank you very much.
For him.